Okay, call a meeting to order and a moment of silent prayer. Lord, give me strength.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mrs. Franks.
Mayor Kindle,
Present.
Councilwoman Costantino,
Present.
Councilman Jenny.
Here.
Councilwoman LaPrat,
Here.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams. Councilman Toussaint.
Here.
Acting City Manager Szymanski.
Here.
City Attorney DeWally. Here.
Okay, I need a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
I'll offer the motion to receive, to approve, receive, and file the regular city council meeting minutes held on October 21st, 2024.
Support.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public comment on agenda items. You can speak on something on the agenda if you choose to.
James Melnick, President, IFF Local 1188. I'm here to speak on the agenda item regarding the 2025 budget. Local 1188 has been made aware of a built-in cost structure for the contracting of fire services from the City of Detroit. It is believed that this cost structure is based on the $1.4 million offer from the City of Detroit, which was accepted by Acting City Manager Szymanski on behalf of Mayor and Council, even though there has been no public discussion regarding the change to how city services will be performed from here on out. During the budget workshop, there was a question from a member of council asking if we can get this contract signed already. Let me remind you, the city is currently under contract with Local 1188 and our contract language is strong. Local 1188 has proudly served the residents of Harper Woods for nearly 70 years, with our department dating back many years before the city, before that to the days of Gratiot Township. We have stood strong as our city administrators have turned their back on us time and time again in effort to eliminate this viable service. As you have read within our context with council, we are here to offer solutions. Solutions that work for improving fire services in Harper Woods and to the safety of our firefighters that serve the residents of Harper Woods. Our loyalty is to the residents of Harper Woods, and we will continue to make sure that the whole truth is being told, including any violations of the law, particularly to the Open Meetings Act or to our collective bargaining agreement. We are here to help find solutions. The Harper Woods firefighters are a willing partner with the City of Harper Woods, just as we always have.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak on agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I need a resolution.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll make the resolution to approve consent agenda items 1 through 4.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, that takes us to old business. Seeing we have none, it takes us to new business, city manager report.
Okay, item G1, public hearing, 2025 budget, mayor and council. The public hearing on the 2025 budget has been scheduled. A final copy of the budget is enclosed with your packet. For the public hearing, I will give a brief overview of the budget, after which public comments should be invited. For this agenda item, only the standard motions to open and close the public hearing is required. Action on the budget is the next two agenda items. Mayor, a motion is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I make the motion to open the public hearing on the 2025 budget.
Support.
All right.
Okay, I'll discuss it. Okay, I'll go over the highlights, and it's a little wordy here, but we'll get through all the funds. The general fund, our main city operating fund is showing signs of recovery starting in 2025. We are seeing an increase in residential property values, with commercial property tax appeals being non-existent than in prior years. The city continues to make cost-cutting strides for health insurance for active employees, retirees, and future retirees. The city has capped future pension costs for a majority of active employees, but the cost of providing health care and legacy pension OPEB expenses continues to represent a major expense that puts strain on this fund. In spite of financial challenges facing the city, service levels remain high for police, fire, parks, DPW, and other city-provided services. Improvements for year 2025 include new sidewalks and street repairs, and I was going to say changes in police and fire models and a new cannabis industry, but I wanted to make a comment based on what Lieutenant Melnick said here. At our last city council meeting, budget meeting, we all discussed the merger, the transition with the city of Detroit. It was at a public meeting. There was nothing that was done in secrecy. And I want to say that I did receive a phone call saying that the merger has been squashed by a state international association of firefighter individuals. And Mayor, after this election, I would really like to have another meeting with the city of Detroit and bring the council members, bring residents, our community, from our community, and our pastors from the community, and let's have a talk with the city of Detroit's city council, because there's people making decisions that are nameless and faceless and doing everything in the background to impede on progress for the city of Harper Woods. And I'm going to say this, that any change that's in our fire department is not going to come, the fix will not come on the backs of our police officers.
Right.
Absolutely not. Okay, and we will have a new housing development will go up at the site originally occupied by the former Polpard Elementary School. Our overall taxable value for residential property has increased this year, and a new development at the former Eastland Mall site is finally open for business. This $94.2 million investment will stabilize commercial values in that location and provide a reliable revenue stream in the future. All measures combined ensure more jobs for the community and an expanding tax base that should further stabilize the city's revenues. The city for 2025 will be reducing taxes, mills, for the Public 33 assessment that supplements police and fire operations as the city transitions to different service delivery models. The city will also be seeking a new city manager, finance director, treasurer, and integrating a new business manager to increase efficiency in the finance and treasury offices due to my retirement as the acting city manager on December 1st, 2025. Our 2025 budget projects a modest increase in fund balance due to the uncertainties associated with inflation and other factors. The 2025 budget assumes a successful adoption of PA 33 law by our city council for police and fire services. There will be no reduction in police or fire services provided to residents or businesses in the city of Harper Woods. The city also levies Public Act 359 millage not to exceed $50,000 to enhance the image of the city through publication and promotional advertising. In 2025, we need to continue to address the reliance of high taxation in our city. A long-term steady decrease of our millage assessment for PA 33 is highly likely once reliable revenues materialize from the Eastland development combined with the commercial ventures of both the new housing prospects at the former Polpart School location and the venture capital investment of the cannabis industry and the merger of fire services with the city of Detroit. The city is also building a new community center at Salter Park to complement its new pocket park on Roscommon Street. Our projection is for a fund balance of over $4.5 million for 2025. This amount represents approximately 32% of revenues. The emergency fund balance should provide approximately 3 months of general fund expenses. The major and local street funds. There are new projects planned for 2025. The city will be planning a major sidewalk improvement program that may span several years. Joint seal maintenance will be performed on various streets throughout the city, and spot surface replacement repair work will be performed on many roads throughout the city. These efforts will extend the life cycle of existing roads. Our library fund. The operating fund for the library presents no cuts in service. The basement area has been restored due to past year's flooding. There is high likelihood staffing levels will need to be increased once all restoration efforts are completed and the library is operating at full capacity. The library expects to hire a new full-time director in year 2025. Our debt service fund. The .75 millage levy will be eliminated from tax bills due to the payment in total of the 2004 library bond issue. Additionally, the city in 2018 bonded for capital energy improvements. Payments for principal, interest, and fees will be transferred from the general fund to the debt service fund for payment on behalf of principal, interest, and other fees of the capital improvement fund. The Milk River Drainage District. The City Council is required to annually establish the Milk River Drainage District millage rate as part of the city's annual budget process. The Milk River Drainage District litigation case was settled in 2022 for $2 million. A millage rate of 12 mills will now finance principal and interest payments due, plus the operation and maintenance cost of operating the system. The city is proposing a reduction of 1.5 mills for 2025. A total of 6.5 mills will be added to the winter tax bill, and another 4 mills will be added to summer tax bills for a total millage of 10.5 for 2025. Vehicle and Equipment Fund. We have not budgeted, nor do we expect any major equipment purchases from this fund in 2025. Cost of maintaining all city equipment will need to be evaluated in the future. The fund balance has recovered from a prior deficit, and the fund is now compliant with regulations prescribed by the state of Michigan. The city plans on using this fund to supplement vehicle purchases in the future and relieving financial pressure from the general fund. The Water and Sewer Fund. The 2025 budget for the Water and Sewer Fund will reflect aggressive cash collections of unpaid outstanding water balances for residential and commercial users. Now that COVID is over, yearly scheduled water shutoffs will occur 4 to 5 times a year for unpaid balances. The city will evaluate the rates needed to charge residents and commercial users for year 2025. This budget reflects not only current operating expenses, but includes future enhancements earmarked for sewer repair and replacement projects. The Water Fund will be required to absorb certain maintenance costs that were formerly associated with the Stormwater Fund. The Refuse Fund. The city's refuse fund manages the city's rubbish removal services. It is funded by a dedicated property tax millage and refuse collection fee. The refuse fund millage will remain the same for 2025. Fees will be reviewed for year 2025. Capital Projects Fund. This fund is a newer addition for Harper Woods and serves as a one-year forecast, mostly of one-time, non-reoccurring expenditures. New sidewalks, tree trimming, DPW equipment, air conditioning for City Hall, power generator installation, and building improvements for police and fire lockers and shower facilities to accommodate both men and women are all projects slated for year 2024, 2025, and 2026. The Pocket Park Fund. The city has received a $200,000 grant from the state of Michigan to develop a pocket park at Roscommon and Dupre Avenues. This park will feature a centered gazebo, 4 seating areas, a French drain, 8 to 10 foot outdoor fencing surrounding the perimeter, walking area, planting area, and displays for local art. Major street improvements will slow down traffic on the street alongside the park. Act 51 local road funds will be added to the grant funds for those specific road improvements. The Community Center Fund. The city has received a grant award in the amount of $1.5 million to be applied against the full construction cost of approximately $2.4 million for the completion of a new community center to be located in Salter Park and completed by year 2026. The financing will involve an additional grant of $379,035 from Wayne County and a subsidy by the city of Harper Woods of approximately $521,000 spread over 2 years, or approximately $260,500 for year 2000 and $260,500 for year 25. Miscellaneous funds. The other funds presented herein, the city has established funds for drug forfeiture, K-9, Omni, revolving loan, OWI, and opioid lawsuit funds for 2025. Mayor and Council, you are requested to approve the 2025 budget on an activity basis. Line item details have been provided to you in your budget workbooks for informational purposes only. Adoption on an activity basis allows your management the flexibility to adjust line items as may be necessary from time to time and bring budget amendments to the City Council when practical or necessary. We believe the budget presented herein accurately represents the city's financial position and condition. We hereby submit and recommend your approval of the 2025 budget.
All right, so it's still open.
Yes.
So anyone that wish to speak on the budget, this is the open. It's a hearing right now, so you can come to the mic and identify yourself and speak on the budget or anything that's pertaining to the budget. Identify yourself.
Good evening, first and foremost, everyone. The council. My name is Curtis Daniels. I reside here in Harper Woods. Been a resident, citizen here for 2 years plus. I probably not long as many of you have been here, but moving here, I love that I moved here, and I love that it's a nice place to live. But what I see that you spoke on the budget, I didn't see nothing nowhere in there where it said we're going to reduce or try to help any citizens or to try to help any seniors or anyone to reduce the property taxes for us, because I think the property taxes and the millage rates and the inflation rates is very high out here in Harper Woods, and I haven't heard anyone say anything about helping the citizens and doing something to reduce our property taxes, which I think is really, very high. And we pay a lot of money with our property taxes. I'm paying like $7,000, you know what I'm saying, property taxes. And that's for winter and summer. And also, I didn't hear that the contractors that's gonna be getting these contracts here in the city of Harper Woods, that is they're gonna be union or non-union, are they gonna help and they're gonna participate in hiring Harper Woods residents? We're gonna see if they have any Harper Woods residents on their roster as far as employment, and that these projects, if they're gonna be, built here in the city of Harper Woods, what it's gonna do to help the students. And, we got students that's gonna be graduating, they're gonna need work. It's all about jobs. We're talking about the apprenticeship programs. I don't see no one promoting about the apprenticeship programs. I have came up here several times. I've been up to the school board meeting. I have not have one person either reach out to me. They say they was going to reach out to me and talk about the skilled trades, talk about helping students when they transition from high school and when they ain't gonna get no jobs until when they go to college. They may not get jobs when they go to college for get their degrees in, and the skilled trades is an opportunity for them. And we just built a $30 million facility in Detroit. I'm part of local 687, the Carpenters Union. I also am a member of the Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters International. So I'm just saying, like, I hear a lot of things that's really good, but I also don't hear any things that are going to help us citizens here. That's going to help us reduce the taxes when a lot of, I spoke to a lot of my neighbors, some 70 years old, some 75, some very much older than I am. I'm 60. I haven't heard, and a lot of them been going through a lot of tax problems, with this high property taxes. And I see you talk about a lot of funds and a lot of things coming out, taxing, taking something from the residents, the citizens here. What we gonna do about helping us? Yes, the election going on, but people want to get relief from all the high property taxes here. Now, I have talked to several people, and it seems like they say that it's not, this has been like this here because it's Harper Woods, it's Harper Woods. So we have a high taxes, it's one of the highest taxes in the country. Well, let's try to do something about that to reduce that, to help us. Because that's what the president, people running for the president, talk about reducing taxes. So why is Harper Woods keep dwelling on increasing property taxes, pulling our money out of our pockets? I have a good job, and I pay taxes, but the way the property taxes is here make me want to move because they're too high. And I make good money, and I shouldn't be a journeyman making the money that I make to be put in a position that I feel like I want to move because the property taxes is too high out here. And it shouldn't be like that, man. It shouldn't be like that, council people. The people voted for you to help us, not to keep putting restraint on us. I don't want to talk about no dispensaries. I love the police department. I love the fire department. I ain't talking about those things that help our community. I'm talking about the things that help us when we get into hard times. The raising taxes all the time and pulling it from the people is not right. I love this community since I've been here.
Thank you.
I have no disrespect to no one here, but I would appreciate it if y'all could try to find some way to reduce the property taxes.
We're gonna cut over four and a quarter mils on this budget.
So cutting the budget, what would that do for me paying $7,000?
That's gonna reduce the taxes that you pay to the city. We're gonna cut at least by 2 mils on the fire side, PA 33. We're gonna give a cut of $1.5 million on Milk River. The bond issue, 3/4 of a mil is coming off for 25. So, we gotta do this gradually. And that's what we're doing. We're taking a step in the right direction. Please, help us with this transition.
I'm here to help. That's why I moved to
Yes,
this
I'm glad.
community.
I'm glad.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, my time is up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We've allowed you.
We heard you.
Okay, one thing I really have a passion for is the skilled trades. And I moved to this community for that purpose too, to make sure that residents here, the kids here, the adults here, get an opportunity to the skilled trades. So the contractors that's coming here building, can we make sure that these contractors hire people from this community, and also make sure they can get some union work with these union companies as well, too. Non-union companies.
They are.
Okay? I'm
Yeah.
gonna take you up on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see who they are. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else would like to speak at the public hearing? Seeing
Madam
none?
Mayor?
Yes?
Yes. Just a few comments. When we went through the budget, some of the things that we were looking at, the mills, reducing things, if the merger went through with the fire department, would have brought back, would have lowered taxes. That was what we all were saying too. Because it would have, with the PA 33, if the merger went through, the city would have saved a lot of money, and that some of that we were returning back to the citizens with tax breaks. That's what we were going to do. That's exactly what we had in mind, if the merger went through, with Detroit Fire Department. So I'm sure there's some things that's gonna have to be, reconfigured now, because with the, state fire department union coming in, that's threw a little wrench in things, so I'm sure things are gonna have to be a little bit changed. With union workers, when we first talked about Eastland development, that was one of the things we said, that they should have some people from Harper Woods working on it. So we had thought about that too. So that was,
Well, with the demolition of
Yeah.
Eastland, it was
Exactly.
definitely done with a union contractor,
yeah.
okay?
So we had looked into that too, the union contractor and people working from Harper Woods. So we did look into some of those things that you mentioned. So I think that's mostly it. I'm sure pieces of this budget is gonna have to change, of course, later on. It'll be amended because we were looking for that merger, and that would have saved the city a lot of money. But, we'll, take it step by step, because there are still other things that the city have that's going on that's still gonna reduce a lot of things, like the Milk River, the, Poupard, and other, projects that the city have. So it just may not be, the tax base may not be reduced as much as we wanted it to, but, we'll have to see how some of this works out. That's it.
Good evening. May I be heard? Thank you. My name is Pastor Rosalind Bouye. I am a new resident of Harper Woods as well. I've been here, it's a year this month. I wanted to ask a question regarding the water shutoffs that I heard the gentleman speak about, the city manager speak of. I wanted to ask this, are these water shutoffs, is it due to GLEWA? Is it because of the Lifeline plan? What are the perimeters for the shutoffs? Would this impact those general across the board, or is this specifically dedicated to Legacy?
This is,
Water bill.
couple of things here. What's happened is during COVID, okay, city couldn't shut off any water. People got, I'm not saying all people, okay, but there's a group, a dedicated group out there that somehow felt that they don't have to pay for water services anymore. So what has happened is they have racked up very big bills.
So this is Legacy water.
Yeah, legacy water bills, and this is current water bills. And what has happened is we have partnered with quite a few agencies that provide relief, okay? And we look to get residents, I want to say, get the information, see if these agencies can help you and pay your bill so that we can avoid a water shutoff. We do not want to shut off water on anybody. But what happens is, I think the last glance that we had like over $700,000 in delinquent bills. So
How much of that is residents versus business?
most of it's residents. And what's happened is, instead of even thinking about raising rates, we're going after the ones that are not paying their bills, and we're trying to get them into some sort of scheduled payments to knock these balances down. You know, whatever is affordable, whatever's feasible, whatever is paid by some of the local agencies out there. But a requirement is that once somebody signs an agreement, they have to maintain a scheduled payment. So you have some folks in here that may have their due diligence for maybe 1 or 2 months, and then they lapse again. And what happens is late fees and penalties roll up, and now you have a $3,000 water bill. And you know, and once you get it that high, very hard to get it down. So we're working with folks, and it has been working, and we want to make sure that we clean up that end before we, you know, even.
That's his time, not mine, correct? Just want to make sure we have that. set.
Before we even think about raising rates.
Okay, so I'd like to respond to that. And here's my question. I've been doing this work over 18 years, and I've served as a water warrior in the city of Detroit and have fought against the water shutoffs. One thing that I've learned over these 18 years is that when the water shutoffs first rolled out in the city of Detroit, what we saw happen and what we'll see happen here as well is a high influx of hepatitis A. City of Detroit required that their sanitation workers had to take hepatitis A shots, because when your water shut off, you have to eliminate your waste somewhere. When the pandemic came about, right, water shutoffs were supposed to have stopped, but they did not, and I can say that because we raised over $286,000 to pay water bills at my pantry location in Detroit. The reality of it is that when the water bills get to $3,000, $4,000, we always need to look at whose water bill that is.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a targeted audience, right? But then also, more importantly than that, everyone else around is the domino impact, right? We know that. So when we start talking about shutting off people's water bill, we're talking about scurvy, skin disease, we're talking about children without water. When we start talking about shutting off water, that means by law, children in the home have to be removed and taken away. So now we're talking about heightening up the systems that are only harming more people. So
Yeah.
I think that, and I recognize and I understand, I've been doing this work a long time as well. This was not what I came to comment on, but when I heard that, I needed to make sure I commented on it because I do understand the outcomes of what will happen. And they're not going to be pretty. And when you say for those organizations that have money, Wayne Metro's in my building, so I understand Wayne Metro has money, Lifeline Plan, City of Detroit, DWSD. GLEWA is a private organization, we all know that. But when we start talking about shutting off water, at what point do we shut it off? What is the bill? How long have they been in arrears?
Most of the time, it's a shut-off notice, and then people make arrangements to pay.
This is true.
You know,
This is true,
very,
but
very
arrears,
seldom
we're
do
talking
we
about the
actually,
arrears, yeah.
does it actually get shut off.
And then the question also begs to be asked, is it those who own the property or that are behind on the water bills, or those who own the property that are not paying the water bills? Because usually what happens when you're a renter, you pay your water bill included in your rental agreement, and that water bill is money is never sent over.
Yeah, we look at that very carefully.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion regarding the public hearing for the budget? Seeing none?
Yeah.
I need a motion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I make the motion to close the public hearing.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed.
Okay, item G2, adoption of tax levy resolution 2025 budget. Mayor and council, as noted in the budget message, PA 5 of 1982 as amended, requires the city council to establish a tax rate to support the budget. That resolution is found on page 1 of the budget document. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I make the resolution to adopt the tax levy resolution set forth on page 1 of the budget document, hereby establishing the following tax rate for 2025. General, 18.8398. PA 359.1769. Refuse, 2.4034. The Milk River Drain, 10.5. Library, 1.8053. Debt is 0, with a total of 33.7254.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
it's nice to see that our debt is 0. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
All right.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
my understanding, and I just want the city manager to repeat this, is that this tax levy is lower for 2025 than what we're currently paying.
That's correct, by 4 mils.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes,
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay.
Okay, item G3, adoption of budget adoption and appropriation resolution, 2025 budget. Mayor and council, with all the public hearing requirements having now been met and the tax levy resolution enacted, the 2025 budget can now be adopted. The adoption and appropriation resolution is found on page 2 of the budget document. It is recommended that this resolution be adopted. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
by resolution, approve the budget adoption and appropriation resolution found on page 2 of the budget document, thereby adopting the 2025 budget as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes,
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
All right.
Okay, item G4, establish Milk River drain assessment. Mayor and council, in accordance with the Milk River Intercounty Drain Assessment, Chapter 21, 1956, PA 40 of the Michigan Drain Code, MCL 280.526, mandates that the city levy sufficient taxes to pay the drain assessments. In addition, Section 527 of Chapter 21 provides that taxes levied by the city for the payment of the drain assessments shall not be deemed to be within any statutory or charter tax limitation. The city may impose taxes without limitation as to rate or amount for the payment of the assessments in anticipation of which bonds are issued, which taxes shall be in addition to any taxes that the public corporation may otherwise be authorized to levy, but not more than the rate or the amount sufficient therefor. The imposition of sufficient taxes to pay the drain assessments for the payment of debt incurred for reasons of public health may be levied without limitation as to the rate or amount on all taxable properties in the city without public referendum. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll offer the resolution in accordance with Milk River Intercounty Drain Assessments, Chapter 21, 1956, PA 40, as amended, and its obligations under the Michigan Drain Code. Harperwood City is mandated to levy 10.5 mills on all taxable properties in the city to fund the Milk River Intercounty Drain Assessments on its tax bills dated December 1st, 2024.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Mm-hmm.
I know that, we're hoping that because of some of the retention ponds that have gone in at Eastland Mall, that may have a positive effect on this assessment, and that we might be able to reduce this assessment even further. I know that this is a reduction from what we had paid in the past. I'm just curious as to whether there is a date in the future when we can look forward to that reassessment taking place, or if that is something that we're at the mercy of the Milk River Intercounty Drain Association.
No, we have to wait until the buildings at Eastland become leased and occupied to really see what the operations are. And at that point, you're going to see pressure put on, I want to say, the district to lower the mills.
And may I ask a second question? And that is that with this, I mean, all of the language that's included in your explanation, my understanding is basically says, we cannot levy more than we absolutely need to pay for these costs.
Right.
So
That's
we're
correct.
not- We're not adding any additional costs to this for residents. This is, you know, we're getting charged and we're paying it, and that's the basic understanding of how this operates.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks?
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, item G5, Milk River Drain Operation and Maintenance. Mayor and council attaches an invoice from Wayne County for operation and maintenance of the Milk River Drain. This is in accordance with the budget amounts set by the Drainage District. It is recommended that this payment be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
my favorite one. I'll make the resolution to approve payment to Wayne County in the amount of $356,018 for the operation and maintenance of the Milk River Drain.
Support.
Discussion.
Madam Mayor, just out of curiosity, because I don't see it here, what's the length of time for this particular payment?
October through December 2024.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks?
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, item G6, progress payment, Beaconsfield resurfacing. Mayor and council attaches a memorandum from the Director of Public Works transmitting an invoice from the Michigan Department of Transportation for the city's portion of the Beaconsfield resurfacing project Phase 2. As you recall, this MDOT project requires a match from the city, and this invoice represents a portion of that cost. I have reviewed this and recommend that this invoice be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll offer the resolution to approve the payment to the Michigan Department of Transportation in the amount of $10,502.07 for the city's proportionate share of the Beaconsfield resurfacing project Phase 2.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks?
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
this research with 10,000, that's including the, I guess you say the new maintenance we had to do with the, for Beaconsfield, the resealing and some of the things like
That's
that?
not.
No, it's
that's two
not,
different.
yeah, it's not part of it. What happens is when they lay the asphalt out of the road, there's testing, there's other issues. They may have had to tear out curbs, lawns, sprinkler systems. And all of these things come after the project has been completed, and that's what this cost is.
Madam Mayor?
Yes?
Okay, I just had a question. Is this, are we almost finished with this payment, or is there like another 1 or 2 or 3?
The city's portion on this, I believe, was 18.15%, and I think we're pretty much caught up with this, Heather. Is that true?
I think we're pretty close. We're kind of at the mercy of those last final
Details.
reconciliations from the state and the contractor.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks?
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes?
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, item G7, progress payment number 2, 2024 pavement striping project number 180-342. Mayor and council attaches a letter from our city engineers transmitting progress payment number 2 on the 2024 pavement striping program number 180-342. It is recommended that this payment be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
make the resolution to approve payment to PK Contracting LLC in the amount of $34,987.05. Progress payment number 2 on the 2024 pavement striping program, number 180-342.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
We had some concerns. I know residents have mentioned it, and I've mentioned it, and I know that I've had an opportunity to speak with our DPW director about some errors that were done in the striping along Harper, not allowing for the parking lane. And my concern was whether that was going to be restriped, whether we're gonna just have to live with the problem, the way it exists, whether it was an engineering issue. And I guess, I'd like to find out where that is.
I did send an email over to the engineers. They were reviewing the striping to make sure that it was done correctly, and I will research again with him, and I will forward you the information as soon as I have it back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks?
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Constantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, item G8, transfer of 2024 winter tax roll, delinquent grass cutting, special pickups, and meter replacements. Mayor and council, attached is a request for authorization from the acting treasurer to transfer to the tax roll delinquent bills not paid by the property owners. We do this annually, and their delinquent bills then become a tax lien on the property. It is recommended that these transfers be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll make the resolution. By resolution, approve the transfer of $50,687 for miscellaneous city services, $19,120 for special pickups, and $4,017 for meter replacements. Total of $73,824.50 to the 2024 winter tax roll as proposed and submitted by the acting treasurer.
Support.
Discussion?
Madam Mayor, just a question. Once it's put on the winter tax roll, I'm just wondering how many people actually pay it once this goes through? Do they?
Kim, do you want to have a few words up here on the podium?
Good evening.
Phoebe?
Once they transfer to the tax roll, most properties have an escrow, mortgage escrow, so they're automatically paid through that. So we do recoup that money pretty much.
Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank?
Councilwoman Constantino.
Yes.
Councilman Jenny.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Tucson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
And that concludes the city manager's report.
Okay, great. That takes us to the call of the audience. If you'd like to speak, please make your way to the podium. You have 3 minutes. Those of you that want to speak, I need you to kind of get in line and be close proximity so that we can move this quickly along. All right?
Good evening. My name is Christy Shumrin. I live on Ross Common, Harper Woods, lifelong resident. Just a couple of things. I just want to know, there are 3 houses that I know of in Harper Woods that have been vacant. One of them for the last, at least, I believe, 5 years. I had a fire. It's on Woodcrest. It's like the second house in. just wondering what's gonna be, happen to that one, because they're starting to go in and actually, take the aluminum siding off now, because I cut 2 lawns on that street. And I've noticed every time I go by, there's a little bit gone every time I go by now. Then there's another one that's on the corner of Lansdowne and Woodside. I don't know if they're squatting, I don't know if they're fixing it up. I mean, it looks really bad. And then the other one on Kenosha, the one that's burnt out, it had a really bad fire, the whole roof is gone. Just was wondering if the city was planning on doing anything or taking action on these 3 houses or not.
You can have, at the end of the meeting.
You have the addresses?
Yeah,
I don't have the addresses, I know exactly where they're at though.
you can let the chief know,
Okay.
right there.
All right, thank you.
Again, good evening, may I be heard? I am now coming to you on a personal basis as a resident of Harper Woods, as a recently purchased homeowner. I'm on Eastwood, right at the corner of Kelly, right down the street. And at the end of the corner is the gas station. I am 2 houses on the left side from the gas station. So you already, I can tell by your expression, you know where I'm going, it sounds like. So the gas station does not seem to want to do their due diligence in cutting their shrubs and their grass. And so consequently, we cannot see into the into the field that's right behind it.
Okay.
And so I'm asking the council to take their under consideration so that the gas station can either be cited, be made to cut their grass or something, because it is a hazard, it is a danger to us on the block. And then I need to go back. I apologize. I apologize if this is not an opportunity to do this, but in my experience, call to audience means any topic that's bothering me, right? So I need to go back to the water shutoffs just for a second, and I want to ask the question, have you considered what has the public health director said in regards to the topographical, right, the amount of landscape that Harper Woods has? Can it support a water shutoff for families, considering and knowing especially what we're looking ahead in 2025, although the pandemic is over, as we seem to believe, there is still issues with that. But understanding that when we shut water off, what that does sanitation-wise, and what it does health-wise, and most assuredly what it does with communicable diseases-wise.
Yeah, we give every opportunity to the residents to.
I'm sorry, maybe I didn't word that correctly. I'm not questioning what the residents have not done. I recognize that the issue, the burden that you're telling me, is laying upon the residents for not paying the bill, for whatever reason. But moving beyond that, the reality of it is, as the council, right, as the leaders in this community, have you done the due diligence of having the public health director weigh in on this? Because Harper Woods does not have the topographical density as Detroit. Disease will spread very quickly over here, is what I'm saying to you. Have you made that consideration? I understand that what your case is, and I can respect your opinion and where you sit with whatever evidence you have to support it. People are not paying their water bills, and for whatever reason. And like I said, I've done this work for 18 years. But the reality of it is that it's a domino effect for everyone else in the community, and it most surely will run rapid in community. This city is not large enough to sustain what will happen. And if you haven't seen it before, I have.
Yeah, our water, it's tested, it meets all the state compliance regulations.
Still missing my question. Not concerned about the water compliance, not concerned about whether the water is healthy. I'm concerned about when people do not have water, what that impact will have on everyone else, because disease will pass through this community very fast. And that's all I'm asking. Has the public health director weighed in? That's a very basic question. That's a yes or no. That's all I'm asking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Okay. I have a property question. The people, the contractors who doing the sidewalks, okay, they pulled up my sidewalk that's out there that's in front of the city sidewalk. That you know, the sidewalk blocks was buckling, so y'all creating a program, y'all doing good, very good of replacing those center blocks on the concrete. But the guy tore up my grass. Whoever did that pulled up a bunch of the grass too. Is that gonna get replaced?
Yeah, go talk to her at the end of the meeting, yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
I heard another thing. Y'all gonna spend money as a contract, as a construction worker for renovation or for improvement of roads and things. Asphalt is kinda like not really good, you know what I mean? Over a period of time, asphalt dissolve and, you know, get tore up, and next thing you know, you got a bunch of potholes and a bunch of destruction. You know, they got ultra high performance concrete out here, the irrigated concrete, tested concrete. So when y'all get these contractors come in to do constructional work, are they giving y'all a report of testing the concrete that y'all getting replaced for any damaged properties or any city roads or city stuff for Harper Woods? Are y'all getting them tested back, of y'all getting the proper product for the money that's getting spent with our taxpayers' money, your money? Is you getting the proper and materials and everything to make sure that that concrete that lasts a long time?
Yeah, they do bore sample testing and they go to labs. And what happens is the labs tell us exactly what's in the concrete, you know, to make sure that we're getting the proper mix in what we're paying for. And if we're not, they are responsible for tearing that out and replacing it.
Okay, one more. What's wrong? I'm going back to the skilled trades again. And I'm really saying this here. I passed out materials, I think, the first time I came. I'm gonna bring some materials again. I'm gonna contact the school department, superintendent, try to do this again. I'm part of local 687 Carpenters Union, I'm part of the Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters. I moved out here. I would love to see our community again promote and propagate the skilled trades to the residents and to the kids of this community. Who I need to talk to, I need to talk to them because I haven't had a career fair out here yet. I did a career fair just recently in Rose Point, East Point, and Roseville with the school district out there October the 2nd. We had a career fair. And many skilled trades people attended. I haven't seen one down here yet.
Okay.
We need to do that and promote to skilled trades so we can get these jobs from, you know, here.
Thank you.
Residents here need jobs too.
Thank you, we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my name is Robert Good, live at Eastwood, right next to the gas station and the lot there. And problem we have now, they're cutting the grass a little more, but they have berms set up there, and anyone can hide behind those, and we need them down if possible. And that's the main throughway there, you know, kids go to school there and everything, so it's important. And myself and other neighbors there try to help out in the area there, but we need their help also at the gas station
We'll make sure.
to get those things done, you know.
Thank you.
Get that help, it would be appreciated.
Okay. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? If not, we will start with Councilwoman Constantino.
You started with me last time, but that's okay. I said you started with me last time, but that's okay.
No, well, I can't keep track all the time, but oh well.
No, I just wanted to recognize Mr. Daniels' concern about the taxes. I know every other meeting I'm complaining about how high our property taxes are, especially for new home buyers. And with him, his house, you know, being there just in the house a couple of years, you're still feeling it. Uh-oh, we have a situation here. Coffee-related situation, I think. Nick, do we have any napkins?
Watch your papers.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I guess I'll have to continue later, but I think you got the point that I'm
Right.
glad we're lowering our taxes this time, but we gotta keep lowering them. We gotta lower them even more.
All
So,
right.
and then I think if our property taxes go down, the property values will go up, and then that will just basically, we'll be able to get more taxes that way if our property values go up. So we won't really lose money, just temporarily, just until the property values come up.
All right.
Thank you.
Sorry, Cheryl.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Okay. I'll stop there.
All right. Mr. Toussaint?
He's engaged in the coffee situation too.
First of all, hopefully everyone has voted. If not, you have one more day to. It's very important for everyone to vote. It's your civic responsibility, your civic duty. It's just, we need to let our young people know that also, that we believe in a voting system. Next thing is, well, there's going to be a Movember men's night out back by popular demand. Jonas went open house and honest Q&A about men's health with an impressive panel of local experts. This will be Wednesday, November 6th, at the War Memorial from 6:30, starting at 6:30 with the, and 7:30 panel begins. I went last year, and a lot of times people are always saying that men don't seem to take care of themselves well enough as we should. And this is an excellent opportunity to be focused directly on the men's population, to be able to come and ask some questions and hear some recommendations from doctors and therapists on this. Urology, chief of surgery, colon and rectal surgery, Henry Ford Hospital, therapists, nephrology, chief medical officer at Henry Ford, and also TPI golf specialist. So this is an excellent opportunity, and I'll be there again on Wednesday. Second thing is, Wednesday, November 20th, City Hall is having the tree trimming as we have every year, and that's going to be November 20th at 6:30 p.m. So please join us as we celebrate the spirit of the holiday season in Harper Woods. It's always been a lot of fun to go to that. I like to see everybody get a chance to meet all of our neighbors. Another thing I wanted to address is sometimes when you guys bring us situations about things that are going on in the area, we always try to visualize it. A lot of times, like for example with your bushes, take pictures of it. And that thing, and the houses that have the things taken off of it and things like that, take pictures of it so when you talk to DPW or talk with a city manager about it, they can have an idea of exactly what you're talking about before you go out there. And I think that helps a lot, because when I have complaints about those sort of situations too, I always have pictures to reinforce what I'm talking about and have people see that. So I would encourage you to do that. And our DP, Department of Public Works, and our Parks and Recs, they're just so cooperative and really willing, and our police department and fire department are very cooperative. If you just kind of bring us some good information to work with. That's all.
All right. I'd like to also emphasize the idea of voting. Tomorrow's a big day. And from what I understand from our city clerk, our voting numbers right now are lower than they were in 2020. And so encourage, I know, I was surprised too. Encourage your neighbors. If you haven't gotten your vote sent in yet, come in. Tomorrow's the big day. And we may not have results until the middle of Wednesday, but nothing can happen if you don't vote. All right, so it's really, really vital that we exercise our democracy and put our word out there. All right, that's so important. I want to support Councilmember Toussaint in encouraging you to mark your calendars for November 20th. Usually we have children's groups singing outside of the fire department when we are having our tree lighting, and it's a wonderful family affair. And with that, I guess I'll pass it on.
Oh, I say nothing, I get $20. Get out there and vote, everybody, please. It's our duty to do it, so please get out there and vote. I'm going to reiterate like everyone else has, so.
I just want to say thanks to our clerk and all our election workers.
Amen.
There's some out here right now who have been working
You've been working
for
your butt
9
off.
days, and we'll be here all day tomorrow. And that I can attest that we are running a fair and secure election, because one of my family members managed to sign their absentee ballot differently than their normal signature. And I didn't get a phone call, I didn't get a, hey, you know, an email. I got a letter, just like anybody else would, saying they gotta re-sign this because we don't believe it's them. And we brought it up so that this ballot would count. So I know for sure we are running a fair and secure election here in Harper Woods. But a big shout out to everybody that's been working diligently the last 9 days and all day tomorrow. So if you haven't voted, I don't know what you're waiting for. So get out here tomorrow, 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. and find your, if you don't know where your precinct is, so one of us can help you. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Just to piggyback on what my fellow council members have talked about voting, how important it is. I do hope everybody who haven't voted, please come out and vote. You know, it is so important. I know I went out to vote on the first day of the walk-ins, and I was actually surprised at how many people was there, because it's like all the voting things was just about filled up. But I called myself coming early, you know, to avoid a lot of the people. But it was quite a few people out here voting early. So again, I want to give kudos to our city clerk and all the people who was working very diligently over these last couple of days, and again tomorrow, because I know it's a hard process for them. It's a lot of work that they have to do, and you know, I just want to give our clerk and everyone who's involved in that process kudos for all the hard work that you're doing. The other thing I want to remind everybody, one of my favorite days is coming up, which is Veterans Day, which is Monday, November 11th. I am a veteran, and so I try to take advantage of all the nice things that happen on Veterans Day, you know, for the veterans. If you know veterans, please, you know, tell them thank you for your service, or, you know, just acknowledge them. Because we actually do, when we sign that paper, we are pretty much signing our life away to protect, you know, our country. Yeah. Thank you. So, you know, we do appreciate all the things that happen on Veterans Day. I usually take that day off just so I can just enjoy it, you know. I know we have another veteran down on the other end. Okay. So, again, just, you know, thank a veteran when you see a veteran, because lots of families, lots of people are veterans, and we do appreciate it, and we really do put our life on the line for everybody. And that's it. Thank you.
All right, so that leaves me. And once again, I want to make sure that everyone gets out to vote. It is so crucial. As we've often heard, this is one of the most important elections in our lifetime, and this time it really feels like it really is. So I'm encouraging you to make sure that your neighbors, your family, your friends all have voted. Because one thing this time around, you can find out if they didn't vote. You'll know it. So don't bring me your problems if you didn't bother to vote, you know? So this time, you know, around, we can really, you know, we don't know who you voted for, but we can figure out whether you voted or not.
You sure can. You
so
can.
that if you did not vote, then don't bring me your problems. But anyway, I'm just encouraging everyone to vote. And I want to give kudos and thanks to our finance department for, I mean, it's been 4 years or better, and we came from a $72,000 deficit. I mean, really, to where we have a fund balance where we can have something if something happens. So to Maria, to Kim, and to John. And Mickey's not here, but I just want to thank your whole department for being able to bring us to this point, and I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we got places to go and things to do, but we are all about the business of reducing the taxes that we pay here in Harper Woods. I was surprised when I came on board that our taxes were so high. But we have to do it gradually, and we have to do it in a way that we don't lose any of the services that we're presently enjoying. This is what we're trying to do to make sure. So I thank everybody, and I really, truly appreciate our clerk. She's worked. If it was a way to give her a vacation to Hawaii or whatever, she would be well deserved of it, because she has done a yeoman's job in keeping the integrity of voting in Harper Woods. So I appreciate you, Leslie. Thank you. And with that, Mr. Jennings?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion for adjournment.
Support.
All in favor? All right. Motion carried, and we are adjourned.
Let's get